What's up? What's up? It's your boy Karceno here, and let's talk about it. How many of you guys are familiar with Uber? Uber, Uber. The Uber company. Uber. Uber was out for years before I even took an Uber. Now, a lot of people are working for Uber, driving around the world, and they really challenged the taxi cab business. But I'm somebody who observed very well. Yes, Lyft is out there. The ride share programs are that's what they call ride shares. But Lyft is not facing the type of difficulties that Uber is. A lot of you might wonder what that is. I will share with you. Just give me a moment of time. We'll get into it. People are not getting their notifications because of certain flaws here. Now, maybe people can get their notifications. Now, here are some of the problems that people are facing when dealing with Uber or anything else. Uber does not pay your taxes. You pay a lot of the costs, and they're not responsible for a lot of different things. But what was red flags for me is when I saw the taxi business and I saw rideshare business. And I saw people who were taxi drivers leave the taxi business to go work for Uber. And I started seeing something weird transpire with like a year or two into it. I started seeing people go back to the cab business. And I thought cabs would disappear. I said, well, the cabs would disappear and this would probably be the end of cabs. But I see the cab business is still going. And most of them have gotten some drivers back. And Uber's still doing their thing, but the cab business is still going strong. So something's telling me that there's something not quite right here, but there's room for alarm. Everywhere, I wouldn't say just major cities, definitely. I started seeing people go back to the cabs. And it let me know that Everything that's glitter is not all gold here with Uber. I had to really now you got to look under the hood and see what's really going on. Then we just had a strike here Wednesday in Chicago, and Uber wanted to really jump out the gate, and they rushed into launching an IPO that was completely false. And Dara, what's his name, Karawashi or whatever, I can't pronounce his last name. But Dara, who's the CEO of the company, and all the other executives in May, just 4 or 5 days ago, launched an IPO. Now, you're launching an IPO when they just had a strike in the city of Chicago. And I'm like, last Wednesday they had a strike. Friday, you just launched that you're going to be a public company and is now listed on the New York Stock Exchange. But before all that, you had so many problems and people, striking. And when you don't have the employees and people are sketchy about trading your stock, period, because the rideshare business is kind of a dicey business. It doesn't look structured well. And by the first 2 days of trading, it's been super disastrous. Their stock has suffered about almost 8% by the end of the first day. That's $660 million loss of investor wealth. The stock dipped even further on Monday morning. So this morning, the stock even dipped some more. And a letter sent to the employees, Dara sent them a note talking about, remember that Facebook and Amazon post IPO trading was incredibly difficult for these companies. And look at how they delivered since. Our road will be the same. I doubt it. Following its initial public offering at the New York Stock Exchange, Uber's stock value has been trading well below the IPO price, which means at the end of the first day of trading, 81% of their 29.5 billion in equity was raised was underwater. 81%. That's crazy. Here's what Uber is banking on in the future. They're banking on going to be public because they're going to do something different. They've already made history. As of Monday, the stock was down another 11% by early afternoon. And it is the biggest first day dollar loss in US IPO history. Well, Dara had to explain to the stockholders, and to the employees there, since they're going public. He's got to say, obviously, our stock did not trade as well as we had post. We had hope post IPO. Today's another tough day in the market, and I expect the same as it relates to our stock. But it's initially for us to keep our eye on the long term value of Uber for our customers, partners, drivers, and investors. Here's their problem. I know what Dara is moving towards, but he's going to have to get there fast because he's thinking in the terms of the people that they're depending to get this done is human. He's looking at more robotics in the future. Robotics, they are not going to complain about salary. Robots are not going to complain about overwork, and robotics will definitely get people to their destinations. They won't get robbed, and there should be any problems. They're hoping for cars that can drive themselves back and forth. That's what they're banking on. Robotics. Then we will make certain that we communicate our incredible value as a company that is changing the way the world moves, but also the value at what we are building for our owners. But there is one simple way for us to succeed: focus on the work at hand and execute against all our plans effectively. hmm That's what the plan is. They are banking, Uber is banking their future on robotics, robot cars, everything robotic. Because once it's robotic, you can't do nothing about it. See? Well, Lyft is different. Lyft did not become a public company like that. They're not on the New York Stock Exchange, which is smart. It's very dangerous. There's been a lot of accidents with those self-driving cars. So they're waiting till they're modified the right way, and they're gonna definitely look more into those. Yeah, robots not gonna strike. I'll never get a self-driving car. Well, you say that now. Next thing you know, you wake up, you got a self-driving car taking you somewhere. It might be, but Uber right now is not looking good. I think they launched way too early when the actual car or the robotics and the technology is not quite there yet. When you got disgruntled employees who are out here, independent contractors who are unhappy and striking against Uber for better wages and pay distribution, that's not going to fare well for your IPO. So, One Crack News once again drops the business. I'm out.